Right. If you are listening, Georgia, I have two. Well, I have more, but these are what are in front of me. Two Greek films. These are not necessarily my favourites ever, but I thought I'd show you what I've got here. Probably heard of this one. Zorba the Greek. I don't know if any of you have seen this one. So about the racket as well. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just testing the mic and the camera. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Okay. About Zorba, we as a country have a very mixed relationship, complicated, I think, relationship with this movie because it created this entire mythos about what a Greek man, Greek person in general is, what
Yeah.
Greece is. So we've come to a point where we kind of would prefer this movie was never made.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because it's probably the most famous, at least old Greek film, right? And it defined us so much, to the point where although Kazantzakis, who is the writer of the book the movie is based on, is still very respected, considered one of the great in Greece. The movie, it's a completely different story. Probably because more non-Greek people have watched the movie than read the book.
Yeah.
But no, our relationship with this movie is at best complicated. But if we're being honest, it's probably terrible.
I understand that, yeah, because it, it's obviously he's Greek, but it is English language as well, even though Irini Papas is in it. But it's got Anthony Quinn and Alan Bates,
Yes,
and so it is almost like a brochure for the English to say
yes.
this is what
Okay.
Greece is like, but it isn't like that.
Consider this. The dance the famous dun, dun, dun,
Yeah, yeah,
it's not a Greek dance. It was made up for the movie.
it's crazy that
it,
that could be a separate
it's
interview,
not
I think.
it's not a traditional Greek dance. It's based on moves from many Greek traditional dances because we do dance a lot.
Mm,
But the dance itself is made up for consumption by non-Greek audiences because yes, Anthony Quinn is the star of the film, so it's not really a Greek film. No, it's a very interesting phenomenon.
I think we should book in an interview, a talk about this, and this could be like an hour long.
Yes.
Because I'd love to hear more. Because I
No,
used to be married to a Greek, and I've got
it's come to a
half Greek.
point where
Yeah,
it's a derogatory term
yeah,
for if a Greek film really focuses on the aesthetics of a Greek summer,
mm,
we will call it like, oh, it is Zorba the Greek movie.
yeah.
We really not pleased with this one anymore.
No,
If we were, if we ever were, I don't know. I wasn't alive. I don't know.
no, but all right. I've got. What about this one? What about this one?
Okay, this one it's way more beloved. It's
This is
considered
yeah,
one of the greatest Greek
masterpiece.
movies,
Yeah,
masterpiece. Very Greek, very Greek. No, this one, yes,
yeah. That's
Zorba.
why. Yeah, no, not so much. Yeah, it should be called Zorba, who is not the Greek. Yes,
Yeah, it has come to a point where he's no longer Greek. He's honestly almost a caricature of what Greece is.
it is. Yeah,
If there ever was such a person, as a, like, if there were, I don't think we were ever like that. Greece was
no.
never a carefree country.
Because
It
it's a
climbed up.
universal mainstream film, the whole world, all of the Western world would have seen it, and they'd have gone, "Oh, let's go to Greece because they dance like that and
Yes,
say funny
the
things."
made
I
up
mean,
dance is yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Look who else is here. Evi Margarita. Hello. Wow.
Hi, hello. Hello.
Hi.
Wow, editor and movie star. Look at that. That's cracking.
I'm here with my partner, if that's okay.
Yeah, hello.
He hasn't seen the film.
Oh,
Mm,
that's exciting.
yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, we were just discussing Zorba and Rebetico, and yeah, and Georgia's getting a bit frustrated, so we're gonna have to get onto the film. But we're gonna have a chat about that later, though, that's for certain. It's Greek cinema and how it's misrepresented. But yeah, so boo. Yeah, so on the call, Georgia, who's been on the call for the whole screening session so far, is the writer director. Margarita, who is in the film, was also in Dan Keaton. You see, I remembered. Yeah, that was also at the festival. Very different film, this one. And then we've got Evi, who's the editor. Hello, Evi.
Hello. Hello again.
Super. Right. So we've done enough of the Greek history cinema. We're going to now talk about modern Greek cinema with Boo. If you're all ready, I will mute my mic and we'll stick it on, and we'll discuss it afterwards if that's okay. Superb. So Margarita, what did your partner think?
Sorry?
What does your partner think? Is he happy with
Ah,
that film?
I was so sure that you're going to ask him. So I was like, if you don't want to be on screen because you're going to be asked
You're gonna regret it.
he's like, okay. So did you like it? I like it very much. He liked it.
Good. Did he like the central performance? He better do. But yeah.
Of course he did.
um yeah, it's such a lovely film, and I always say this because every time I am kind of forced to watch these films multiple times, but you always get something different out of them. And this one, I appreciate the writing a lot more this time. It's just so lovely. There's so many nice things in it. There's so many sad things as well, but you don't like shove it down my throat. Like, be sad or be. You just they are who they are. This is how they feel. I love that. Oh, Nina says she said a bit later, but she really loved the actresses are excellent. Makeup, costumes are great. Yeah, I mean, we did have a chat before. Obviously, Margarita, you were with us sadly, but I'll ask you a question if that's okay. I know you were on Diane Keaton, and this is a completely different film. Similar themes, but completely differently shot, and your character is completely different. So, tell me about your relationship with Georgia and how you came upon this role and what you thought of that script.
Diane Keaton and Boo is like Anastasia and Sunshine are two completely different characters, but at the same time, me and Georgia, we are like two completely different people. I mean, we have the same core, but we are changing through time. So when I first read the script, Georgia was a little bit disappointed. She said, like, well, I don't know whether it's good. And I was so carried away by the writing, by like the script just amazed me. I was like, first of all, it's clever. Like this idea of those two women that at their own period of time they couldn't live the way they wanted, and somehow they got trapped and they died and their life ended, and now they have a second chance and they can do whatever they like with this kind of a gap in between. So now they're playing with new different things, but at the same time, like, you have Sunshine where she's like very sentimental, and then you have Lillian where she's like super logical. It's almost as if I'm watching me and Georgia playing our own parts in this kind of script, because like we changed a lot, and I was supporting Georgia through this process and she was supporting me through all of that, and I'm like, every time I'm very honored to be her actress. Like we are working in a much better and more concentrated, I must say, level right now. So that's perfect.
Yeah. And Georgia, that's a good point. Like Georgia, when you wrote this, did you think of your friendship with Margarita? Did that come into it to some extent? The dynamics between you both, did that form part of those two characters?
Here's the thing, no, because no, because when I started writing it, I was not expecting and I was not aiming to even finish it.
Okay.
Mm.
Much more, actually turn it into a movie. So I did not think of anyone. But as I was writing it, I kept on writing because I actually became friends with them, with Lillian and Sunshine. And when I kind of had the first draft, I sent it over to Margarita. And I thought, and I asked her, "What do you think?" And said, "No, continue writing. There's something there." And which I don't usually. I think I have done it once more in the past, and she said, "Go on, keep writing," and I didn't do anything with it. I just stopped because there was no story there.
Mm.
But no, it was not written for anyone but for Lillian and Sunshine.
Yeah.
It was their story from the beginning. I didn't even know these girls. They wrote themselves. I know that's something very, very many writers say. The
Mm.
story wrote itself. It was not like that. I did not know what I was doing. I
No, the script is terrific. I mean, obviously everything else is great as well because there's so many different things in there, like so many different moods. And speaking of moods, when we spoke previous, I mentioned Daisies, the
yeah.
film from the '60s, which is definitely influenced. And you said it was on your mood board. What
Yeah.
what other films were in your mind when you pictured this, wrote it, and when you wanted to visualized it?
I think well, the one thing I knew from the start was that I wanted the movie to be yellow, which is not a great direction for any collaborator. I just want a yellow film. That's not great information for anyone to work with. So I guess the mood book was filled with really flowery movies,
Mm,
such as Agnès Varda, Happiness.
yeah.
That was there, even though I would argue that Diane, even though I had not watched the film yet, not Diane, I had watched that because I showed it. Um,
Mhm.
in the decoupage is way more similar to Happiness than this film.
Yeah.
But in the mood book, because there's always flowers on the background, I
Mm,
used screenshots from Happiness. That was one film. There was another one that I used. It's a short film, and it's actually available for free online. It's called Port Cherry,
okay.
and
Love it.
it's great actually. And I think a commercial for Margarita. What was it? Was it Gucci? Was it Dior? I don't remember.
I
But it
think it
was
was Gucci.
yeah. We found one day I found these random commercials for Gucci, and I
Mm.
sent it to Margarita and said, "Okay, here's the thing. Remember, this is what I want it to look like." And said, "Okay, let's make a Gucci commercial."
Yeah. It's a very
Yeah,
good
no,
commercial.
the mood book was all over the place for uh when it comes to direction and cinematography, but all the heavy weight, all the heavy work was done on costumes.
Yeah.
The pages dedicated to costume design
Mm.
were a lot, many pages.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's obviously very specific. They're both from very specific eras. Do you think the characters, the way they behaved, came from those eras as well? Did you like look back and like think, well, she's from that time, so she would be more like this? You must have done a lot of research for how
I
people
think
wear.
in a very yes, but I'm with always having in mind what we know now about women during this time period. So ever since I was very little, I was obsessed with groupies. I thought, oh, that was a great lifestyle. And then around 12 or 13, which is very young, I came across articles and even books and films that documentary about the groupie lifestyle, and it was horrible. So I really wanted to focus on the fact that no, the groupie lifestyle was really bad and traumatic. The women who survived through it are not over yet. No, they were all abused. Some of them were raped. They were all very young. They built the careers of these rock stars, and they got no credit for it. And that's a very sad time period for women, and of course, as well as Lillian, but it's kind of more well known for Lillian. For Sunshine, the 60s are still so romanticized, which is shocking because these women are still alive and they've been talking, and no one wants to hear them, and no one wants to listen to them because the music was cool and these guys were rock stars and they're legends. They're also abusers and pedophiles and rapists. You know, being able to play the guitar really well does not excuse rape in my books. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad, because you filmed, especially that scene right in the middle. It's quite a dark scene where the music comes in, and the way you shot it, you've got Sunshine's like lower down and Lillian's higher up, but then that line she says, because she's in the afterlife, she's not angry anymore. So it's really good how you've got that. And Sunshine doesn't quite understand that yet, but it's like you can look back and see life as an outside thing now and think, well, all that stress is over now. We should be enjoying it more. And so I really love that sort of step outside of life and look at it from a different perspective. I'm glad you didn't go heavy with all that other stuff you just mentioned as well. You kept it light, but it was still there in your writing. And that was really good. Quick question for Evi, if that's okay. Just on your I know we spoke before, but your collaboration, did you work together on the edit? And did you have some input in how it would look? Or was Georgia like, no, 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 it's like this?
Well, for the editing part, we talked about a lot of things with Georgia. And at the end, I think actually it took us a couple of months. So we were working on everything, like testing things, seeing what's working, what does not work. So, at first we might have some ideas or like having some inputs. But at the end, I feel like and that's how I edit most of the things, like with the emotion, how the actresses also are playing with, because it's very focused on the person. It's more like to give you the emotion and have the flow of the scene rather than making impression on something from the editing. And I think that's how we try to keep it like simple and fancy. And if we could do it like more elevated, of course we went for it, but we were mostly focused on what's working the best, so you can get the emotion and of course the story, and keep with the rhythm of the and the tension and the fun parts and the sad parts. Also, there were some jokes and stuff like that we wanted to emphasize them, of course.
Yeah.
So it was like more like that. We talked, as I said before, we talked at the very start. We had some inputs, but I feel like at the end we kept only what was feeling good.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that definitely shows. Just we are running out of time, but Margarita, I'll jump to you quick. One last question for yourself and your collaboration with this brilliant director writer. Like, what was it like this time compared to Diane Keaton? I know the story's different, but what instructions wise, and how did you work together to build that amazing character?
Well, it was a whole different experience in all levels. It was. I will. It will sound as a comparison, but it's not. Like, I'm not saying that the one was worse, but I could see the development of Georgia. I could see that she has picked her crew very carefully, which created a group of people because. The weather was terrible while we were shooting, was terrible. It was like 45 degrees. It was super hot. We were all day outside. So if Georgia hadn't picked the people compared to, like, she picked them as a group. So that helped a lot because we were all caring for each other. So the instructions were much better. She was more direct because she knew very well the characters. Like what she said before, that I created the stories of Lillian and Sunshine. It's the truth. Like she knew those two girls. So every time me or Adigoni were just slipping away from our characters, she would just immediately step in and she would be like, now you're not Lillian, like now you're not Sunshine. And it was very interesting because, for example, I used a lot of my character in Sunshine and it didn't work. Like it wasn't like it wasn't Sunshine. So Georgia was stepping in and she's like, now you're using a lot of yourself, that's not Sunshine, and she was just putting me back in. So it was
Wow.
very interesting to see her evolving and changing the way she has been working with me through these years. And I think she has a lot to give, a lot more to give, a lot more to learn. She's on like, with this film, I saw her best, and that was very, very, very nice for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great answer. That's great. Georgia's blushing now over there, but yeah. Um, just quick before we go, just to introduce you to Anita, who's on the call, Georgia. Anita is one of the jury, the
Hello.
nine special jury that watched your films, watched these 21 films, and although we can't say too much, you know, she was one of the ones that enjoyed this film, so just wanted to like introduce you there. But yeah, congratulations, everyone. Again, George, it's lovely to have you back, and I hope you make somewhat quick so we can talk again. But let's pencil in a Greek cinema chat separately because I want to hear you talk. But yeah, it's a lovely film. It's been real popular with the jury, and the people that have watched it have really enjoyed it. So congratulations, and I'm looking forward to this evening's viewing as well.
Thank you so much.
Georgia is on the call. She's been here all day, bless her. She made this film. She was also at the festival. I always forget the year. I think it was 2019 with a film before this called Diane Keaton. So it's worth checking that out. But yeah, this is her latest one, and it's in competition. Yeah, it was 2019, I think. I'll have to check on my. I don't know if my brain goes back that far, if I'm honest. But this is a new one. It's in competition, one of the 21 competition films. So yeah, it's well worth a watch. Must be late where you are, Georgia, now. Must be 1 in the morning. Gosh.
Yes, it's actually yeah, one in the morning. Just turned 1 in the morning.
Oh my gosh. You must like films to stay this long. You must just love films.
I actually really love film festivals, so
Yeah.
when I can, I don't mind watching the same films again and again just to be there and then make sure that everyone feels seen, you know.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. I think I've watched that film 5 times now. You've probably watched it more.
Yeah.
Holly's got a question. Uh, Hi, Georgia. Did you have any visual influences for the film's color palette and production design? I love the costume and the makeup, especially.
Hi, hello. Visual influences, we have many. The film Daisies has been mentioned so many times during this
Yeah.
festival, but it truly was a big influence. Um, so Daisies definitely. Uh, Happiness by Agnes Varda as well. And then there are two bit weirder influences. A short film which is available online for free. It's called Four Cherries, and it was very influential for us as a team. And as mentioned in the last Q&A, a Gucci commercial. I
Yeah.
don't even remember what it was supposed to promote, but it was very influential. It's on YouTube. I it was I saw it so much as a short film that they were promoting completely flew over my head.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they were trying to sell me, but I bought it.
You bought it,
I
yeah.
and for but no, the color palette. As I was writing it, even back then, I knew that I wanted the film to be yellow. And at the time, my favorite color was actually yellow, so maybe that had something to do with it. I
Yeah.
really love colors. Colors are really important to me, which is a great statement, but they are not just in movies in general. And I thought, you know what? I really love yellow. Yellow has helped me a lot. I'm not kidding. During the pandemic, during the lockdown, whenever I would feel really down, I would just Google yellow and spend hours just looking at different yellows. So as an homage to yellow, as an thank you to yellow, my table. I wanted to make a yellow film, and costume and makeup. It was either big fan of 60s fashion, and
Yeah, definitely.
always wanted to make a period film. 60s are essentially period films right now.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years, and I knew that I could probably never have the budget to make an entire 60s film. So I thought, now's your chance because you only need one costume.
Just one costume, yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually, in many ways, this film includes many other projects that I would love to make, but I
Yeah.
knew that it would be very difficult. So, you know, I saved some time, you know.
A question about time then, because your last, well, I don't know if it was your last film, but the Diane Keaton film that was our festival in 2019, I just checked. So that's 6 years, and obviously lockdown, we all lost more than a year, didn't we? With everything, it wasn't just
Yeah.
1 year for us; we lost. So is that why you've not made a film since? Or have you been doing other things, working on other projects in between now and then?
It's really hard for me to come up with ideas.
Okay.
Once I have an idea, then it's done in a matter of days, really. But coming up with the idea, it's nearly impossible. So during between Diane Keaton and Boo, I only wrote for other people, which is something that I love,
Yeah.
and I because the situation is this, you know, I do not have original ideas. Um, I prefer it, you know, because all I want to do is write, and if
Uh,
I rely on my ideas, that will never happen. Uh, So actually, this is going to sound horrible, but I'm the pandemic really helped because the first funding for Boo came from a program, um, a government program to support filmmakers.
Mm.
Boo was chosen. We had a little bit of money, and that initial funding helped us to secure the second big funding, because the first one was actually like just for the filmmaker. You couldn't make a film with that money.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, yes, lockdown was horrible for many filmmakers, but not for this one. It's
Yeah.
awful to say, but it really
No,
helped.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I wonder what's coming at the sound design process. It was like how you created the eerie landscape. Yeah, 'cause there was always sounds in the background. So
That is all for Dimitri Ferropoulou, who also did the sound recordings on set. That's all for me. It is incredible. It is very creative. All the sounds were pretty much sounds that she had already recorded and just tested on the film. And because I would never take someone else's credit. The idea for the big scene during nighttime,
yeah,
where the sounds get gradually more concerning. You start and you have the basic um, city sounds, and then you listen to uh, an ambulance running by. That was Evi Loe's idea. Actually, our editors, we were editing, and I was really worried because it is one of my favorite scenes, if not my favorite. And does the message get through, Evi? Are we okay? Is it concerning, the scene? Is it scary?
yeah.
Does it create agony? And so she's like, yes, it does all that. Plus, you can do this with a Fatini. And I was like, oh yeah, and it worked. So yeah, these two really, really made the sound design what it is. And I really do love the sound design. I'm really glad you asked this because I think it's my favorite part of the process, the post-production process, sound design. I really love it.
Especially that night, you mentioned that night scene because that's probably the hardest scene to watch
Yeah.
because it is like they're both quite fun even when they're talking. Especially Sunshine, very bright-eyed and smiley, but that's a very downbeat scene. You've got that humming music with those sounds, so it almost becomes rhythmic. It works really well, and then we cut to the next day. And the crickets, which if you've been to Greece as you have,
Yeah.
it's crickets are all the time. But it's really important that you did that though, because that in Greece, that and car horns, it's constant all day. So you really it puts you in that natural surrounding.
We were very lucky because even though the movie was shot in the middle of the city in so many things,
Mm.
uh, most of the time we were blessed with silence, which is everyone who has ever shot something outside knows that that is very rare. It's impossible. But for some reason, everything was quiet, and very lucky, very lucky.
That's good.
We didn't have to reshoot many things because of sound issues. That was incredible.
Yeah. Well, it is late, but I will just say again, congratulations, because there's a lot of films in the festival. There's a lot of, and everything's different, but there's no film like yours in this festival. All 64 films. And it's nice that because we want that variety. There's themes are similar, but there's no film about ghosts from 100 years ago trying to figure out what's better. There's nothing, and that's why it's so original. Even we've seen ghost stories before, obviously, but yeah, this was really original and with the costumes and everything else that you've done. It's the whole package, really, isn't it? So yeah, congratulations again from me, and I know it's been well received.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And I'm so glad we're back here again. I really, even before we finished the film, I thought, what would be great if I'm back to this festival. That would be such a nice, beautiful full circle. And
Yeah.
we made this. Thank you so much for making it possible.
Yeah, I don't remember if I contacted you or you just contacted me. I don't remember, but when I saw your name, I thought, yes, she's back. It's been too long, and it has been
It
too
was,
long.
Film Freeway,
Yeah,
the hearts, and keep in mind, Filmotomy has always been nice to you. It's a great festival. I recommend it to every other girl I know that's trying to make a film. I'm like, Filmotomy will treat you nicely. Don't worry.
yeah. And do you know what else is nice as well? It's because this year, because we've lost some of the Canadian films because of funding, but there's a lot of English films, which is fine, and we've opened up to students, English students. So it's nice to have something that's not English as well. Something a little just because we're very cultural usually, but this year it looks like we're not very cultural because there's so much English language films. But so your film might stand out for that, which is good. So more Greek cinema, more European, that's what we want. So yeah. So get writing, get directing, come back next year.
I will try my best.
I appreciate it, Georgia. Really nice talking to you. I'm going to take a break for the last film, but thank you very much for staying with us. Really appreciate it.